All right, so after this long, winding search for meaning, through wisdom, wealth, pleasure, work, the preacher of Ecclesiastes is finally ready to give us his answer. He's explored every dead end, and right here in these last 2 chapters, he brings it all home. Let's dive in and unpack his incredible conclusion.
Really, this is the one massive question the entire book wrestles with. The world is just so unpredictable, life is short, and so much is completely out of our hands. So, what do? How are we supposed to live wisely when we have no idea what's coming next? Well, the preacher starts with some surprisingly practical advice.
So we kick things off with chapter 11, which is all about taking action. Think of it as the preacher's guide to navigating a world full of unknowns, not with fear, but with a kind of fearless faith. Okay, this famous line isn't about literally throwing your lunch into a river. It's a really powerful metaphor for taking generous, enterprising action. It's kind of like being an angel investor, or mentoring a student, or even just doing something kind without expecting anything back right away. You put good things out into the world and you trust that, in time, they'll come back to you. It's a total act of faith.
But here's the flip side. If you wait for the perfect moment, for every single condition to be just right, you'll never do anything. You'll be paralyzed, constantly checking the weather forecast instead of just planting the seed. The preacher's point is crystal clear. Uncertainty is part of the deal, so don't let it stop you.
So the preacher boils this all down into a clear strategy. Be generous. Act diligently. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. The text actually says give a portion to 7 and also to 8, which is the same idea. And at the end of the day, you have to trust God with the results, because as he says, you just don't know the works of God who makes everything.
And this wisdom isn't just for your career or your bank account. It's really a blueprint for your entire life. And a huge, huge part of that, according to the preacher, is to simply enjoy it.
This is such a powerful command. Embrace the now. Find joy in being young, in the energy and potential you have today. Don't put off happiness. Go out, experience the world, follow your heart's desires. But, and this is a really crucial but,
here we see this tension that really defines a meaningful life. Your freedom to enjoy life is absolutely real, but it's not unlimited. It's tied directly to divine accountability. Now, this isn't meant to cancel out the joy, but to give it a frame. It's saying, live life to the fullest, but live it wisely, because your choices actually matter forever.
And that brings us to chapter 12. So if chapter 11 was all about how to live, this chapter is about why we live. The tone here gets much more urgent, more profound, as the preacher brings his entire argument to its final, powerful point. This is the central command. Right after telling the young to rejoice, he tells them to remember. Remember your Creator while you are young, while you still have all that strength and energy. Why? Because a time is coming when it won't be so easy. A time he calls the evil days. So what does he mean by that? Is it some kind of future apocalypse? Nope. It's something far more personal, and something we all face. The preacher answers this with one of the most brilliant and honestly kind of sad poems in all of literature. It's an allegory for growing old. The poem starts, "The body is a house, and its keepers, your hands and arms, the things that protect and provide for it, they begin to tremble with age." It's such a vivid, instantly recognizable image of physical decline. He goes on to talk about the grinders, which is a very direct and powerful metaphor for losing your teeth, making something as simple as eating a chore. You can just feel the machinery of the body starting to fail. Then there's this line about the flourishing of the almond tree with its beautiful white blossoms. Well, that's a metaphor for your hair turning white. It's a beautiful image for sure, but it's one that signals the winter of your life.
And this one really captures the feeling of frailty. Even a grasshopper, one of the lightest things you can imagine, becomes a burden. It shows how with old age, the simplest, easiest tasks can require a massive amount of effort. The whole point of this poem is to create a sense of urgency. The preacher isn't just describing old age, he's using it as a motivator. He's saying, remember your Creator now before your body starts to fail, before your energy is gone, before you get to the point where you say, I have no pleasure in these days. And then the allegory reaches its final, dramatic moment. These are all metaphors for death itself. The silver cord snapping, the golden bowl shattering. These images represent the fragile, precious nature of life being broken for good. The machine just stops working. Right after all that poetry, the preacher gives us this stark, clear statement. This is what happens at the very end.
Our physical body, made from dust, goes back to the earth, but our spirit, the very essence of who we are, returns to the God who created it. It's the final separation.
And so, after this journey through life, aging, and death, the stage is finally set. All the searching, all the experiments with wisdom and foolishness, it has all led to this single moment. The preacher is about to tell us the one thing that isn't vanity, the one thing that truly, actually matters. And here it is, the grand finale. The answer to a life of vanity isn't found in what you can get, but in your relationship with the one who gave you life in the first place. To fear God here means to live in this state of reverent awe of Him, and to keep His commandments, well, that's just the practical way you live out that awe. This, he says, is the whole point of being human. And the book ends right where chapter 11 left off, with accountability. This final verse is the ultimate reason why fearing God and keeping His commandments is the whole duty of man. Because nothing is hidden. Every action, public and private, good and bad, has eternal weight and will be brought into the light before God. So the preacher's journey from all is vanity to fear God is complete. He offers a path that blends joyful living with sober reverence, all of it grounded in the reality that there is a Creator to whom we all have to give an account. In the face of all of life's uncertainties and its final end, he found his answer. The only question left is, what will you do with his conclusion?